Did you know that there are objects right here on Earth that defy all logic and seem like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie? In fact, many believe that these things in question aren't even from the Earth, but from another planet. From the mysterious minerals to the strange lights, in this video, let's talk about some concerning objects that are not from this planet. Let's get started. Number 1. Starchild Skull. Discovered back in the 1930s, the Starchild skull shocked the world because it was something no one had seen before. A paranormalist named Lloyd Pye claimed that he had acquired the skull from Ray and Melanie Young from Texas. He also claimed that originally the skull was discovered in a mine tunnel in Mexico and buried alongside a normal human skeleton. According to Pye, the skull was of a hybrid baby of some extraterrestrial creature and a human female. For the longest time, Pye kept up with his claim and said that the skull was of some alien, mixed human being. However, later, a dentist examined the teeth found with the skull, and it was confirmed that the skull was probably of a child, around 4.5 to 5 years old. But the interior of the skull was about 1,600 cubic centimeters. Now, mind you, this is even bigger than an adult's brain. Frontal sinuses were also missing, while the back of the skull was flattened. Most scientists state that the skull was of a child suffering from hydrocephalus, but the conspiracy theorists believe that Pye was right and this skull was of a mixed creature. I'm not sure who was right, but this has to be the weirdest skull I have ever seen. Number 2. The mysterious aluminum wedge. Commonly known as the AIUD aluminum wedge, this ancient wedge was found back in 1974. According to the reports, this wedge was found in the Meteor River in central Romania, near the town of AIUD. It weighed about 4 to 5 pounds, and it is said to be at least 11,000 years old. Now you might think, what's so special about it, and what makes it out of the world? Well, it's the way this wedge is made that makes everyone question the reality. It was made out of aluminium, and it's intriguing because metallic aluminium wasn't even effectively in existence before 1825. This is why the general belief is that this aluminium wedge doesn't belong to the Earth, and that aliens either brought it here or built it here. An unnamed engineer even claims that the wedge was a part of the landing gear from a VTOL-type craft, and this only feeds the claims of those ufologists. I mean, it makes sense to some level, right? Number 3. Roswell Incident. Now, this one was really weird. The Roswell Incident was a bizarre collection of events and myths surrounding the crash of a United States Army Air Force's balloon in 1947. The crash happened near Roswell, New Mexico. The balloon was being controlled by a nearby Alamogordo Army airfield, and the purpose was to remotely detect Soviet nuclear tests. Later on, the officials found metallic and rubber debris, and the U.S. Army announced that they had a flying disc in their possession. Pictures of the debris were also released, and this only made everyone question whether aliens were really out there interfering in human activities. Some theories suggest that this whole thing was just an elaborate hoax, while others believe that there was much more to this news that was kept hidden. Number 4. Mysterious mineral found in the Dead Sea. In 2021, scientists made a very weird discovery. A mysterious mineral was found in the depths of the Dead Sea. Named alabogdanite, this mineral fascinated researchers due to its unique origin and composition, which challenge our understanding of Earth's geological processes. This strange mineral was first found in a lake back in the early 2000s, but it wasn't until 2021 that it was again discovered, but this time in the Dead Sea. Previously thought to only exist in meteorites, this mineral's presence on Earth raises questions about how it came to be in the Dead Sea. It's a phosphide mineral with phosphorus in a rare negative oxidation state, something not commonly found on Earth. Its discovery suggests the presence of high-pressure conditions usually associated with space in Earth's geological past. Scientists are curious about what finding alabogdanite in a terrestrial setting means, as it challenges our assumptions about Earth's formation. It's still unclear if it arrived on Earth as a meteorite or if it actually formed on Earth. Number 5. Allen Hills 84001 meteorite. Discovered in 1984 in Antarctica, the Allen Hills 84001 meteorite has made it to the interest of scientists and sparked debates about the potential for life beyond Earth. This ancient rock, estimated to be approximately 4 billion years old and originating from Mars, stands out due to its unique composition. Apparently, Allen Hill's 84001 has traces of organic carbon in it. This is interesting because it raises questions about whether Martian life could have existed in the past. Did the organic compounds found in the meteorite come from ancient Martian organisms, or were they formed through non-biological processes? A major point of contention surrounding Allen Hill's 84001 is the interpretation of certain features within the meteorite as possible fossilized remains of microbial life. However, you can say that this interpretation remains fiercely debated, with some scientists arguing that these features could have been created through non-biological means as well. Even today, this meteorite interests scientists because many believe that it is, in fact, proof of life on Mars. Number 6. Little Green Men, LGM-1. In 1967, the scientific world was rocked by an extraordinary find that captured the public's imagination. I am talking about the detection of peculiar radio signals from space known as LGM-1, also known as Little Green Men 1. Initially, these pulses were thought to possibly signify extraterrestrial intelligence attempting to make contact with Earth. This discovery was made when astronomers Jocelyn Bell Burnell and Anthony Hewish stumbled upon a series of precise and regular radio pulses originating from a distant star. The rhythmic pattern of these signals sparked playful speculation and jokingly earned the nickname Little Green Men, hinting at the idea of intelligent aliens behind the transmissions. But further investigation revealed a more down-to-earth explanation for the enigmatic signals. Instead of being messages from outer space, the pulses were identified as natural occurrences in astrophysics. Pulses are rapidly rotating neutron stars that emit beams of electromagnetic radiation as they spin. The consistent timing and regularity of these emissions can mimic the signals observed in the LGM-1. While the initial excitement over LGM-1 as evidence of alien contact faded away, the discovery of pulses remains a significant breakthrough in astronomy. Number 7. Tran UFO Incident. Well, you guys must have heard about Iran, but hear me out. There was once a major incident involving what people believe to have been a UFO. Yes, you heard that right, and let me explain. The Tran UFO Incident is an event that took place in the early hours of September 19, 1976, over the skies of the Iranian capital. What makes this incident stand out is the combination of eyewitness reports, radar detections, and documented military responses, all lending weight to the events described. Reports flooded in from civilians and military personnel describing a strange object in the sky with various characteristics. Some said it resembled a bird or helicopter, while others noted its unusually bright light. However, what made this incident crazy was the radar signatures detected by air traffic control towers supporting the eyewitness testimonies. As the mysterious object approached, 2 F-4 Phantom II jet interceptors were sent to investigate. What followed only deepened the mystery. As the jets neared the UFO, they experienced malfunctions, with their instrumentation and communication systems failing. This stopped as soon as the jets moved away from the object, leading to speculation about the nature of the encounter. The Tran UFO incident remains one of the most thoroughly documented and intriguing UFO sightings on record. Despite efforts to explain it through conventional means like weather phenomena or misidentifications, the combination of eyewitness accounts, radar data, and military involvement keeps the incident surrounded in mystery. Number 8. Mysterious pipe system in China's Qinghai province. The discovery of a mysterious pipe system in China's Qinghai province has stirred up quite a buzz among researchers and conspiracy enthusiasts alike. Found in and around Mount Baigong, these peculiar pipe-like structures, crafted from iron and ranging from as small as toothpicks to large enough to walk through, have left experts wondering why and what they actually are. Dating back thousands of years, the origin and purpose of these pipes remain a puzzle. Their organized arrangement, resembling deliberate patterns, only adds to the smoke of mystery. Some theories suggest they might have served as part of an ancient irrigation system or had a role in prehistoric construction. However, there are some other ideas floating around too. Some propose that they're evidence of an ancient advanced civilization or even signs of extraterrestrial contact. Supporters of these notions point to the structure's complexity and age as indications of a mysterious origin. Geologists, on the other hand, offer more down-to-earth explanations. They argue that the pipes could be natural formations formed over time through geological processes. One theory suggests they could be fossilized tree roots, where organic material has been replaced by minerals, forming tubular shapes. But generally, it's believed that these pipes aren't even human-made. Instead, this is something that aliens built here and left. The reason why this is one of the most famous notions is the fact that 30% of the material used in these pipes isn't even identified. Number 9. The Dropper Stones. The Dropper Stones have garnered much attention and sparked heated debates since their purported discovery in China's Bayankara Ula mountain range back in 1937. These artifacts, consisting of 716 granite discs covered in small hieroglyph-like markings, are said to date back approximately 12,000 years. Legend has it that these stones were uncovered during an archaeological expedition led by Chipu Te, revealing a story of extraterrestrial beings known as the Dropper. Allegedly, these beings crash-landed their spacecraft in the area, leading to the creation of the stones as a means of communication or record-keeping. However, there are doubts regarding the authenticity of the Dropper Stones and the credibility of the narrative. Many experts in archaeology and academia question the lack of solid evidence supporting the extraterrestrial origins of the stones, as well as the reliability of the sources recounting the story. In 1994, rumors surfaced claiming that the Chinese authorities had ordered the destruction of the discs, adding further intrigue to the enigma. However, no concrete evidence has emerged to substantiate these claims, leaving the true nature of the Dropper Stones veiled in uncertainty. Number 10. Tutankhamun's Meteoric Dagger. King Tut's dagger is an iron-bladed dagger that was acquired from Tutankhamun's tomb. The material the dagger is made of resembles and correlates with a meteorite a lot. A recent study states that the blade is mostly made out of iron and nickel. However, cobalt is also present in some amounts. The thing is that finding the metal in historical artifacts isn't something new. However, it never exceeds 4%. However, this dagger has more than 50% iron in it. Also, if you note the timeline, this dagger has to be from 1323 BC, and iron smelting was super rare back then. In fact, iron was only used for ornamental, artistic, and gift-giving purposes. No study has provided any evidence of iron smelting being a thing in ancient Egypt before the 6th century BCE. This means the dagger wasn't actually made by a human, nor was the material obtained from something that didn't really exist in this world. So the question is, was Tutankhamun in contact with aliens? Did they come to visit him and leave the dagger as a gift? There are so many questions that need to be answered. Number 11. The Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript is an ancient book dating back to the 15th century. It has confounded scholars for generations. Its pages are filled with writings and illustrations featuring images of plants, stars, and human figures. Named after Wilfrid Voynich, who acquired it in 1912, the manuscript's origin and meaning remain shrouded in mystery. Despite numerous efforts by experts, no one has been able to decipher the language it's written in or unravel its intended message. Various theories abound regarding the Voynich manuscript. Some speculate that it could be a work of fiction. I mean, anyone can really write that stuff down. But others believe it may hold secrets related to subjects like medicine or astronomy, and it doesn't really belong to Earth, especially because of the weird language that makes no sense at all. Number 12. Baghdad Battery. Have you heard about the Baghdad Battery? It's an archaeological find that's been puzzling researchers for years. They stumbled upon these clay jars near Baghdad, Iraq, dating way back to ancient times, around 250 BCE to 650 CE. Now, here's the thing. Inside each jar, there's a copper cylinder, capped off with a copper disc and sealed with asphalt. And then there's an iron rod tucked snugly inside the cylinder. The whole setting is weird. Some people think that if you filled these jars up with something acidic, like vinegar or wine, you'd have yourself a working battery. But here's the thing. Nobody is entirely sure what these batteries were used for. Some reckon they might have been used for electroplating or maybe even for some ancient form of electrotherapy. Others think they might have had some religious or ceremonial significance. But truth be told, we're all still scratching our heads. The discovery of the Baghdad Battery really makes you wonder about how much ancient civilizations knew about electricity and technology, doesn't it? But then it also makes us wonder if these were even the ancient people who built these or someone else. And by someone else, I mean aliens. Something so high-tech being made back in that time just doesn't make sense. Number 13. A rogue black hole. The concept of rogue black holes is pretty wild when you think about it. Unlike your typical black holes chilling within galaxies, these holes are out there solo, cruising through space without a care in the world. Scientists think these rogue black holes form when they get kicked out of their original galaxies, kind of like being the odd one out at a cosmic party. It happens when they have run-ins with other heavy hitters like black holes or stars, getting the boot and drifting off into the great unknown. Now, before you start picturing a black hole crashing into our cosmic neighborhood, don't worry too much. The chances of one of these rogue fellas impacting our solar system are super slim, thanks to the massive distances between us and them. But hey, as far as astronomers are concerned, these solo travelers are like gold mines of knowledge. They give us a peek into what black holes do when they're not confined to galactic boundaries, helping us piece together more about their behavior and characteristics. I mean, rogue black holes might seem a bit spooky at first, but they're also a reminder of just how vast and varied our universe really is. Number 14. The mysterious desert zigzag line. Ever heard of the mysterious desert zigzag line? It's this weird phenomenon found in desert landscapes. These intricate grid patterns etched right into the sandy terrain. Some people think these lines might be calibration targets for spy satellites, which adds a whole new level of intrigue to the mystery. I mean, imagine these precise patterns being used for top-secret surveillance missions out in the middle of nowhere. But of course, there are other ideas floating around too. Some think maybe ancient civilizations or even aliens had a hand in creating them. Then there are those who reckon they're just man-made structures serving some practical purpose. No matter which theory you lean towards, one thing's for sure. These zigzagging lines are a curious sight. They've got us all wondering how they got there and what exactly they're meant for. It looks like we've got ourselves a real desert mystery in our hands. Number 15. Ubaid Lizardmen. Now let's talk about the Ubaid Lizardmen. These ancient figurines found at archaeological sites in Iraq, dating back a whopping 7,000 years to the Ubaid period, are quite weird. Think of humanoid figures with features that give off serious reptile vibes. I'm talking elongated heads, almond-shaped eyes, and noses that look straight out of a lizard's playbook. Now, what's the deal with these little guys? Well, researchers and archaeologists have been going back and forth on that one. Some think they might have had some religious or cultural significance, maybe representing gods or mythical beings of some sort. And those reptilian features? They've got folks speculating about possible ties to Sumerian mythology, especially figures like Enki, who was all about water and often depicted with reptile-like traits. But here's the thing. People are kind of in the dark when it comes to the true meaning behind these Ubaid lizard men. Without any handy inscriptions or extra clues to guide us, it's tough to say for sure what role they played in ancient society. Number 16. OHare International Airport UFO. November 7, 2006, was a regular day at OHare International Airport in Chicago, Illinois, until something out of the ordinary caught the attention of numerous witnesses, from airline staff to passengers. What they saw hovering over Gate C-17 was nothing short of extraordinary. A metallic, saucer-shaped object, estimated to be about 20 to 30 feet in diameter, was there flying in the sky. For a good 5 minutes, This craft remained in plain sight, defying easy explanation. Then, without warning, it shot up into the sky, leaving behind a peculiar hole in the clouds, almost as if to punctuate its mysterious presence. What's more weird is that despite the commotion it caused, this UFO, for lack of a better term, didn't register on the airport's radar systems. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, the authority on all things airborne, quickly weighed in, attributing the sighting to a peculiar weather occurrence. But not everyone bought that explanation. Some of the witnesses were adamant. What they saw was no mere weather balloon or optical illusion. To them, it was a tangible physical object, and the dismissal by the FAA only fueled suspicions of a cover-up. The National Aviation Reporting Center on Anomalous Phenomena, NARCAP, and the Chicago Tribune were both eager to demystify the mystery. NARCAP, a group specializing in UFO research and its potential implications for aviation safety, lent its expertise to the investigation. Meanwhile, the Chicago Tribune were on its own journalistic mission, publishing a series of articles to shed light on the curious incident. Despite their efforts, the truth remains elusive. Was it an alien spacecraft, a secret military test, or perhaps just a glitch in the Matrix? Theories abound, but concrete answers are in short supply. Number 17. The Moai statues of Easter Island. These monolithic human figures are carved in massive stones on Easter Island and have been the center of attention for a long time. The statues are often connected with fertility, but the fact that these giant statues that are as tall as 33 feet were built between 1250 and 1500 makes them weird. How were the ancient people able to build such massive structures without the right tools and everything else needed? To top that off, these statues are carved into volcanic tuff, which is pretty difficult to do so. Not just that, each of the statues has different designs carved at their backs. Many believe that the ancients probably had contact with some giant aliens, and these structures are not of someone in this world. Number 18. Lights over Stevenville, Texas. A quiet night in Stevenville, Texas, January 8, 2008. Suddenly the sky is lit up with strange, bright lights moving in unusual patterns. It's not just a few people who see it. In fact, dozens of residents report the same thing. Some witnesses swear they saw military jets chasing these lights. Others claim they spotted a massive, silent, triangular craft with red, white, and blue lights cruising low in the sky. And here's the thing. These weren't just random folks. We're talking about a pilot, a police officer, a county constable, and even a former air traffic controller among those who saw the spectacle. When the U.S. Air Force was asked about it, they denied having any aircraft in the area. But later, they fessed up, admitting they had 10 F-16 fighter jets doing a training exercise nearby. Still, not everyone bought that explanation. The media went wild over the story. CNN, ABC, the History Channel, they all covered it. Even the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, a group that looks into these kinds of things, got involved. But even with all the attention and investigation, the truth remains a mystery. Was it a military thing, a prank, or something else entirely? The lights over Stevenville continue to baffle, reminding us that sometimes, even in our modern world, there are things we just can't explain. Hope you enjoyed the ride as much as I did. But hey, the fun doesn't have to end here. Hit that like button, share it with your pals, and if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Until next time, keep on exploring and stay curious.